Good morning, Hannah. You'll never guess what. I found you another house again today. I've got a good feeling about this one. I think it's perfect for you. It's a slightly older building, but it's a really quiet neighborhood. It's so cool. You're gonna love it. So this is what it looks like. I think you're gonna be looking at about $30 a month in rent. What do you think, lol?
Beth, please. Would you stop making fun of me? I know that building is an old apartment block super deep in the mountains, isn't it? Plus, I'm pretty sure it's abandoned now.
Oh no, have I been found out, lol? But think about it, Hannah. I'm being serious. Don't you think an abandoned old apartment is just perfect for someone like you? You are a full-grown woman still sponging off her parents, after all. It's not like you could afford anywhere else, right? Lol.
I'm not sponging off of anyone. What the hell's gotten into you lately? You've been acting weird ever since you came to mine and my parents' housewarming party. You messaged me at a rate of about 5 times more than you used to. You keep sending my mom and dad random gifts. Isn't this all a bit strange? Plus, you keep sending me pictures of single-person apartments, which admittedly started out seemingly serious, but are getting progressively more ridiculous every day. I mean, abandoned buildings and mountain huts? Give me a break, Beth. Nothing you're doing makes any sense. What are you up to?
How about you try using your brain for once, lol? You're nearly 30, right? I think it's about time you started standing on your own 2 feet for a change. I did assume you'd finally spread your wings and fly the nest when you and your parents moved out into the family home. But to think you actually moved in with them in their new apartment, I couldn't believe it. Isn't it embarrassing to be single living with your parents at your age? Stand on your own 2 feet for once. Neat. Lol. I think you basically get the drift now, right? You understand why I'm kindly sending you pictures of apartments, right? The reason I keep sending your mom and dad presents is because I feel bad for them having to look after a middle-aged NEET. They deserve some love for their sacrifice. They're sympathy gifts.
I'm not a NEET. I have a job. Anyway, whether I live with my parents or on my own has absolutely nothing to do with you. You're my sister-in-law, for God's sake. You've never interfered in our private affairs until lately. Stop sticking your nose where it's not welcome.
I have no choice. The fact that my husband's little sister is a fully grown woman who still lives with their parents is so embarrassing to me that I felt ashamed talking about my family situation to my friends. I really do think it's about time you got your own place and became independent.
My parents wouldn't be able to cope on their own if I moved out. They don't have a car between them because both of their legs are bad, which means if I'm not home, they can't even go shopping for basic necessities. Then there's the rent, which I'm paying 70% of. If I move out, my parents wouldn't be able to carry on living here. They'd probably have to go into care.
You think I don't know that, lol? That's why, on the dawn of your long-awaited independence, me and my husband plan on shouldering the burden and moving in with them. My husband is the eldest son, after all, so it's only natural. I think your mother would be much happier with that arrangement, don't you? 2 birds with 1 stone. They get their favorite son and his wife back, and they finally get to see the back of their deadweight NEET failure of a daughter. I see nothing but benefits.
Has that been your aim all along? I did kinda have a feeling. Because I remember, Beth, how you used to look down your nose at Mom and Dad's house complaining that it was old and shabby and full of dust. You wouldn't come home for Christmas or birthdays. You had basically zero interest in the place. Then, the moment we move into a nice apartment, we're suddenly hearing about how eager you are to move in here on a daily basis. But with me here, you can't do that, which is why you're doing everything in your power to get rid of me. You take the biscuit for the most shameless dirtbag I ever met.
You can hardly blame me. Who'd want to live in a house that looks like the floors are gonna fall through any second? I'd be living in constant fear. And let's face it, if it wasn't such a rotting heap of old scrapwood, they wouldn't have had torn it down in the first place, would they? It was full of insects. It was even creakier than your mom and dad's knees. It smelled weird. The bottom line is, it was plain nasty. That's why I did my best not to go anywhere near it. I was really blown away when you guys managed to move into such a nice, shiny apartment. Talking about moving up in the world.
Your heart's even blacker than I thought. Thanks for revealing your true colors. I'm still not going anywhere, though. Who in their right mind would fall for such an obvious ploy? Oh, sure, Beth. I'll let you take care of my place at home and leave my aged parents in your care while I'm at it. Give me a break. If you did get your way and move in, your next move would probably be to get rid of my parents. And make that apartment entirely your own somehow, wouldn't it? Did I hit the nail on the head?
Wow, what kind of person do you take me for? I'd never do that. I'm offended of that accusation, lol. Don't worry, I'm gonna take real good care of your mom and dad. They will be paying for my rent with their pensions after all. It's hardly fair that you're the only one who gets to live rent-free in such a nice apartment, isn't it, lol?
Do not talk about my parents like there's some discount coupon. I've always hated this about you. You can be so callous. If you weren't married to my big brother, I'd never have anything to do with you for the rest of my life.
You think I want a lazy, neat write-off as my sister-in-law? Good riddance, I say, lol.
Anyway, I'm not going anywhere. And I'll never let you move into this apartment.
Oh, please, have you heard yourself? What makes you think I need your permission? I'm gonna move in, and there's not a thing you can do to stop me. Sucks to be you, huh?
Beth, I need to speak with you. Where the hell did all my things in my room go?
Huh? Why are you asking me? Do you have any proof that I went in your room and moved your stuff? If you don't have any proof, then stop treating me like I'm some kind of criminal. You can be so callous sometimes.
Quit playing dumb. I know it was you. My mom and dad saw you carrying my furniture outside. You intentionally waited until I was out so you could go uninterrupted. Then you lied to my parents that I'd ask you to take all my furniture outside. I know, Beth. My mom told me everything.
Oh no, did I get found out already? Fine, I'll admit it. I took all your stuff. What now? I heard sometimes you have to take extreme measures to force neets to change their ways. It was written on the net. I was just trying to help you. If I didn't do that, you might have been a neat forever. If having to be the bad guy by taking all of your things was what it took to rescue you from that fate, then so be it. Think of your poor parents. How long did you plan on burdening them? I couldn't bear to watch any longer. Do you understand now?
Stop screwing around, Beth. How many times do I have to tell you before it goes in? I have a job. I am not a neat. I have no intention of leaving this house, and you have no right to go taking all my stuff behind my back. This is theft.
What a preposterous accusation! I did this for you, Hannah. For your own good. For your future.
No, you did it so you could live in this apartment. Anyway, obviously I want my furniture back, too. But what did you do with my DVD collection? All the DVDs in my limited first edition Mask Driver box. and my Net Ranger figure that came with the DVD. If you broke any of them, there will be hell to pay. I mean it.
Oh, you mean those cheap, tacky-looking DVDs? I sold them at a local charity shop.
What? You sold them?
As for the furniture, I thought you'd probably use it again once you moved out, so I left it in our backyard. I couldn't leave the DVDs and games and stuff like that outside. But at the same time, I didn't want to have such a load of junk taking up space in the house, so I sold them. I got about $350 for everything in total.
You sold my cherished DVDs and game collection for a measly $350 at a charity shop? You sold them despite the fact most of them are priceless and can no longer be obtained?
Come on, Hannah, you're almost 30 years old. Isn't it time you grew out of these childish hobbies of yours? Aren't you embarrassed? I'm going to donate the $350 from the DVDs and games to you, so use it as part of your moving fund to get yourself a nice new place. Obviously, when I say donate to you the $350, I only need half of it though. I'll be taking the other half as commission for my services, lol. Let's go out together tomorrow. Just us two girls to find you a new apartment.
I'm taking you to court.
Huh?
My patience has run out. You crossed the line. I won't let you get away with this. I'm taking you to court immediately.
Taking me to court? Do you have any idea how ridiculous you sound? That's not even possible, darling. You can't file a lawsuit over a family dispute. It appears you're a little uneducated on the matter. There's such things as civil non-intervention, you know, lol.
All that means is that the police can't intervene in civil disputes. Your theft constitutes an offense that, as long as a formal complaint is filed, can be prosecuted. I'll hire a lawyer and file a lawsuit. This means a trial. Are you capable of understanding what that means with your pea brain of yours?
What? A trial?
I can't get the police involved, but I can take you to court and have you tried before a judge. I'll be filing the lawsuit immediately, and you will pay for what you've done. Expect to hear from my lawyer very soon.
Just hold on a minute. Don't you think you're being a little unreasonable here? Why would you take me to court?
What? What do you mean, why?
Everything in your room in that apartment belonged to your mother, right? If anyone was going to take me to court for theft, it would be one thing if it was your mom, the rightful owner of the things I took. But wouldn't it be weird for a neat loser with no possessions living rent-free with her parents to be the one filing charges?
That would be irrelevant even if it was true. Even if the legal owner was the one who could file the charges, it would make no difference. Because this is my apartment.
Huh? What are you saying? Isn't this your parents' apartment?
Wrong. I bought it, and I paid for it.
What? Not your mom and dad? I was sure it was theirs. I thought they paid for it with their savings and the money from selling the land from their old house.
It's my apartment, paid with my salary, bought by me, owned by me, mine. I bought it when my mom and dad had the house demolished. My parents are the one living rent-free. Do you understand?
What? This can't be happening. You're joking, aren't you? Tell me it's just a joke. If it really is your apartment, no matter how much I curry favor with your mom, no matter how many gifts I buy or how nice I am to them, I could never live there. That's what it means, isn't it?
Yes, that's exactly what it means. It's my house, so I decide who lives there.
Oh my god. All my hard work until now was a total waste.
That's why I'm taking you to court. Make sure you let my brother know what's happening too.
Please, just wait. Let's discuss this like reasonable adults. Surely you don't seriously plan on taking your sister-in-law to court? We're family!
Who? You're just my brother's wife. From my point of view, you're nothing but a common thief who tried to deceive my parents and sold all my personal belongings.
No, we really wasn't like that. This is all just one big misunderstanding. We just have our wires crossed a little, that's all. I'll give you all your furniture back immediately. Everything!
You just said you left it in the backyard of your house, didn't you? It's raining today. You don't seriously plan on returning my furniture back to me soaking wet?
I'll give it a good wiping down before I give it back. If there's any dirt on the littler things, I'll give them a thorough scrubbing. And if any of the books are ruined, I'll buy you new ones.
What about my DVD box? That's the most important thing out of everything.
I'll buy it back. I'll give the charity shop their money back. Please.
Okay, here's what I'm willing to do. I want all of my furniture and tools back spotless. And they better look brand new when I see them. I want you to go buy back my DVD box. Then I want you to swear that you'll never meddle in my business ever again. If you do all those things, I won't take you to court.
Really? That's all I have to do? Phew!
By the way, the DVD box you sold for pocket change was not only a limited first edition item with only a very small number of units ever produced that's no longer available commercially, but the few that are on the market currently selling at a premium, and even the second-hand ones go for $1,500.
How much? 1,500? For a measly little DVD box? But they only gave me $350 at the shop!
Yeah, you really gave them the deal of a lifetime, didn't you? They probably cracked open the champagne when you left. People pay over $3,000 for them brand new. Of course, I went out of my way to preserve mine in its brand new state with its original packaging left untouched. Which means, of course, you'll buy me another brand new, unopened one, right? If you don't, I'm filing the lawsuit.
No, wait! The last part is a little difficult. I can't just conjure up $3,000 out of thin air all of a sudden. I need time.
Okay, I'll file the lawsuit.
No, stop it! Please, just not that. Anything but that.
Wah. Have you heard how pathetic you sound? You're a fully grown woman, but you act like a spoiled child. Are you still in diapers by any chance? Isn't this even slightly embarrassing for you? Know your place, thief.
I'm sorry. I never intended for things to turn out like this. I made a mistake. Don't we all make mistakes sometimes? Please forgive me.
You have 3 days. I want everything you took from my room returned to its original state before those 3 days are up. My furniture, my tools, my books, my games, and obviously my DVD box. If there's even a single thing I don't like, a single scratch, damp mark, a single item that isn't exactly as it was before, I think you know what happens next. After that, my sister-in-law ran out into her backyard and started frantically drying off my furniture, scrubbing down smaller things that had gotten dirty, and driving around town like a mad woman buying replacements for the things that were damaged beyond repair. Then she turned up at my apartment and desperately tried returning everything to its original place. However, when she went back to the charity shop in an attempt to reclaim the DVD box that she sold, they charged her a whopping $2,500, over 7 times the price she sold it at. And when she heard that figure, she lost her mind. Apparently, she grabbed a hold of the poor shop clerk's arm while yelling, "But you bought it off me for $350!" Eventually, she calmed down and handed over the money through gritted teeth when he threatened to call the police, and successfully bought it back. Much to my astonishment, she actually did manage to return my room to its original state before the 3-day time limit was up, which means that, as promised, I didn't file a lawsuit against her. Of course, I gave her a final stern warning. If you pull anything like this again, you won't get any leeway, and I'll be taking you to court immediately. She nodded her head repeatedly while looking ready to cry at any moment, her body sagging in dejected resignation. I was super relieved when I got my beloved DVD collection back. I bought a lockable shelf that can be fixed to the floor and stored all of my things in it so no one can steal from me ever again.